It's definitely cold and weird. Is she gonna sleep? She got your heating blanket. She needs her heating pad on, so we gotta make sure her heating pad is on. Here you go. Get her heating pad on. Okay. Just putting your heating pad on. Did you unplug it? Yes, she did. That doesn't help the heat. Better plug her heating pad in. So she has her heating pad. Honey Bunny thinks she's a pig, so Honey Bunny sleeps with them until she gets. This is where she hangs until she gets ready for bed. She literally just hangs out here. How you doing? How's everybody doing? There's a troll already. Is there a troll already? Where's the troll? I don't see the troll. Oh, there we go. Okay, they're gone. The troll is gone. That was an early start with the troll. So, these guys are getting ready for bed. So, this is a limited and this is a live I guess as far as transparency. So this is it's gonna be a weird little. I thought I took care of them. It's gonna be an uncomfortable live. It's not uncomfortable. It's informative, and it's transparent, and that's what we like to be is informative and transparent. So basically, this is gonna be a update on my health. And you guys have been there for years at this point with talking about my health and, going to doctors and going to so many doctors. Exactly. Transparency, baby. Honesty is the best policy. So I wanted to do this live because I've been sick for a good 4 years. I've been actively going to doctor after doctor after doctor for 2 years. I have been to 10 probably different kinds of doctors, and every kind of test. I've been poked, prodded, and I think in the past, I'd say 6 months, I've had no less than 10 blood tests. I've been to oncologists, I've been to rheumatologists, I've been to infectious disease doctors, I've been to cardiologists, I've been to dermatologists, and it's been absolutely emotionally draining because I've been sick for a good 4 years and I've been really sick for a good 2 years. And my job is mentally and physically demanding. And at times I've had to push through on lives and push through my day. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Maybe I should start off there so I don't make people nervous. I just kind of want to tell a backstory as I tell everybody. So I did tell some people the wrong thing, and I've been explained what is actually going on with me. So I went and saw I've been at the cardiologist for 6 weeks. So I'm going to tell everybody, don't be scared. So I have a 70% blockage okay, it's a 70% blockage in the left anterior descending artery that feeds the left side of my heart. So I have a 70%. So my body is only getting 30% of the blood it needs to function. And I'm going to go through the path that I've gone with. And I found this out on Thursday and for Friday. I'm like a little nervous for some reason. And so I have a 70% blockage in the left anterior descending artery that feeds the left side of your heart. It's called a LAD, LAD. And so, and so it was really scary. So I went to, again, I've seen every doctor, and this is, we're going to start from all over the place. So that's the end. It's not, and then I'm going in for my one of my wonderful, closest, lovely friends, Dr. Dobby is on. And basically, Dr. Dobby has saved my life. And we're going to talk about how my life was saved by her. So we're going to go. I'm reading your text from my screen. So we're going to go a little on the story and how it ended up and how Krista has been my medical advocate for a couple of years now, and how there's been really wonderful people helping me during this, because the worst part of everything is feel like I'm a hypochondriac, and then just feeling like I am supposed to live like this and I'm just getting old and out of shape. But, I pushed through on lives, and I've done so many lives where I really was struggling to function and struggling to breathe. And hold on, what the hell is going on? I was struggling to function and struggling to breathe. And I've pushed through, and I did feel better after being on live and talking to people, and it's been wonderful. But there's times that I have been, I always push through, and that in rescue and in taking care of animals, you don't have the option of not showing up. And so for the past 2 years, it's been really bad. Getting worse. I could scream. Lucky I didn't have a heart attack. That was the biggest problem, is things that I did could have caused me to have a heart attack. And so, because I'm only getting 30% of the blood I need. And so, literally feeling like I'm absolutely crazy. Like, where I'm like, maybe I'm a hypochondriac and this is just how life is, and this is how you're supposed to feel. I mean, so many days that I just had to push through with no energy, can't breathe, and I cough all the time, and it's been horrible because I just don't feel good. And more than don't feel good, I feel sick. So much of the time I feel sick. I feel achy. My back hurts. Like, I feel like such a complainer. And like, again, I feel like a hypochondriac, and it's frustrating because, like I said, I feel like they're looking at me like last year my leg just swelled up. My fingers would swell up, so all this is due to genetics. So this is genetics. It runs in my family. And so, again, so much praise for my friend, Dr. Krista, because if it wasn't for her, I literally would be dead. There's no other way to talk about it. And I, well, basically, because I didn't really talk about stuff, because even to you guys, I felt like I was a complainer, and I felt like I was a hypochondriac because I was going to all these doctors and they weren't finding anything. So I'm like, okay, this, and it was struggle for me because I'm telling you guys, and you guys are asking for updates, and I'm like embarrassed because I keep going to these doctors, and every doctor you can think of I'm going to, and no answers, and the blood work can come back. And so it started where I went to the cardiologist, had a stress test, and I went to do this. I don't, hold on. Let's see if this works. I went and got the stress test, and oh shit, come on. I went and got the stress test, and I went and got the stress test, and the doctor was like, very nice doctor was like, there's some irregularities, but you know, your blood work looks good. Your you know, the stress test looks good except for this irregularity. And Chris is like, yeah, I don't like that. There's your, and I went for my stress test the week my father died. So I was an absolute mess. So I was in tears to the doctor because the doctor's like, why are you here? Because my mother came with me for the stress test because she was here because my dad just died for the funeral. So I told the doctor, I'm like, my dad just died. You know, 7 years ago, he had a quadruple bypass. You know, he just passed away. You know, so Chris was like, yeah, that's not okay that there's an irregularity. So he said, okay, we're going to do a nuclear stress test. So I said, okay. And I did the nuclear stress test, and they said the same thing where I will, I'm going to answer all the questions at the end. I'm trying to concentrate on this. I did a nuclear stress test. I was really sick after, and they said the same thing. You know, there's a little irregularity, but I'm really not worried. Your other stuff looked really good. And Krista, what was the blood work you told me to get? So Krista said, that's not good enough. With your dad's history, that's not good enough. So Krista's going to tell me what blood work I had to get. So she'll chime in. So Krista said you need this certain blood work to check your LDL was elevated. But then you made me go for this other, my LDL was elevated, and that was the blood work. So she made me get that blood work, and my LDL was elevated. So, ow, stop it. So, a lipoprotein A test. Lipoprotein A test I needed. So I went and I got the lipoprotein A, and it was elevated. So, and this is all crazy because I'm going to all these doctors. So then, hi Shonda. So then I had to go to the oncologist because, again, they thought I had leukemia, which was crazy. So I'm going to the oncologist for another blood checkup that I was fine. So they discovered early on I did not have leukemia. But they keep making me go back to this oncologist who's right around the corner from the cardiologist. And when I found out about the cholesterol, I basically went to, I was at the oncologist and I left and I went to the cardiologist and I just went to the office. I said, can I speak to the doctor? You know, I'm really freaked out. Lipoprotein is a better marker of coronary artery disease. So I literally walked in to the cardiologist. I said, is a doctor here? Could I speak to her? And they said, yeah. And that was great that they let me right in to talk to them. And so, she's like, I have to take a shot every 2 weeks. And she's like, I've been doing research since I got your blood work back. You know, a lot of this doesn't make sense. So a lot of this does. She's like, we're gonna do a cardiac cat something. So we needed further imaging. So I had to get a cardiac CAT scan. So I think that was called. So at this point, I am like wits end because it keeps. This is like a roller coaster of what's wrong and who's telling me what. And I was just emotionally, I mean, still dealing with my father's passing, but now I have this ghost of my father over me because he had heart disease, but he didn't take care of himself. So I go into the doctor's office, an amazing nurse, like I told the other day. They're like, we're gonna lower your heart. I had an absolute anxiety attack, just absolute anxiety attack. Started crying my eyes out. I put my hat down over my eyes, had my shirt over it because I was so embarrassed. I was having an absolute anxiety attack. I'm like, I don't think I can do this. I'm leaving. And again, Super Krista is on the phone. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They shouldn't have said what they said. You're fine. So I was just losing it, absolutely losing it. And she, again, I mean, she is always there to talk me off the ledge. And I was so embarrassed, and this nurse was so freaking wonderful that I was just having an absolute anxiety attack because I did not want them to lower my heart because I was so scared. And the nurse was amazing explaining everything. And so, at this time, I'm like just super raw. I'm super raw and super freaked out. The nurse completely calmed me down where my heart rate got so good that I they didn't have to give me medication to lower my heart rate. So are we going to the thing again? The F word? So the nurse is wonderful, and I plan on. Okay, someone's pissing me off. There's a couple people pissing me off. So, and I plan on doing something for this nurse because she really changed the trajectory of that day. So, well, because there's people being rude, and so I get through this test. The nurse gave me a big hug and squeezed me at the end. And she was like, I'm like, could I hug you? And she squeezed me so hard, and I let go before she did. And she goes, I love hugs. And that was so awesome because I needed that at that moment. And she was absolutely wonderful and squeezed me so hard, longer than I was there. And it was awesome. And I plan on doing something very nice for her. And at the end, and they were very nice, and they said, here's the thing. If everything's fine, we'll get back to you next week with the results. If there's an issue, we'll get back to you right away. And this is Thursday. And so Friday comes, and I wasn't really even thinking about it. I was like, okay, because I drive Krista crazy. I make her drink. It's a terrible thing. Oh, there he is. Mike's on. You definitely will. So I literally drive Krista to drink sometimes. And so on the phone with Krista, talk to her about it. And then I get a call on my phone. Hey, Brian, Midtown Medical or whatever it's called. And they're like, can you do a Zoom the doctor wants to speak with you. So I'm a little freaked out, and I said, well, when? She's like, now. I'm like losing my absolute mind because they're like, now. So I'm like, can I get my friend Chris on the phone? And they're like, yeah, and that was cool. And they're like, we need to do, what are they doing, Krista? I don't even remember what they're doing. So I have to have a cardiac something tomorrow. And they most likely will put a stint in. So Krista will tell me what it's called. What am I getting tomorrow? So cardiac cath. Thank you, Krista. I need an earpiece for you, Krista. You need to be in my ear. So, and it was crazy. And they're like, can you come to now the office is 40 minutes away. And I wasn't even in the mood for a smoothie. So it was like such a waste of a trip. They're like, you got to come here. You need blood work, an EKG, and you need to sign some papers because this is an emergency. And they said, if your EKG is bad, we're going to have to put you right in the hospital. So I am a blubbering mess. And so, but the nurses were like so cool. Again, one was a student nurse and she was making me laugh. And the other nurse, just very, very wonderful nurses, like incredibly beyond, I wish, beyond awesome, really being incredibly sweet. And so I am like losing it. And so they're like, we're going to get you in on Monday. They have a team that comes from Colombia. So we're going to try to they couldn't get me in on Monday. I'm going tomorrow, obviously. So right now it's very, I don't know. I have to be there at 8:00. I can't really breathe right now. I'm not going to lie. My anxiety has been beyond through the roof because the nurse that called me up, the echo was normal. Yes, Krista, I need an earpiece, Krista. And so, yes, I do have a tattoo of Mike Sturr on my butt. So they come in from Colombia, and that's why Krista approved me having that. And so she had to approve it. Krista has to approve everything. So, it's just, so the doctor called finally, or the cardiac cath team called and said, okay, you got to be here at 8:00. And I asked stupid questions that I should be asking Krista and not some random nurse on the phone. And I made the mistake and asked questions that freaked me out. And if I have to have a catheter, if I have to have a stint, I have to stay in the hospital. Krista unfortunately can't come tomorrow. She's dealing with a injury on her arm, or she 100% would be here. Krista has been here for a lot of amazing things. And so, and I'll probably tell I'm going to tell how we started talking. Can I tell a little bit of your story, Krista? Cause it's kind of important for this. So if you don't want me to, I won't. So, hi, Angela. My mother flew in. My mother's upstairs. I locked her in the room because she's driving me crazy. Just kidding, Ma. I love you. My mother's upstairs. My mother flew in right away. She found out on Friday. She was here on Sunday. No, the catheter and the stent are different. The catheter is the tool that they go in with, I think, and then the stent is a little metal thing on the end of that. So you guys will kind of laugh at how I met Krista, and I actually talked to her because Krista has 3 pigs of her own that live in her house. She has a little sanctuary inside her house. And it was when Louie was alive, and I was considering giving Louie CBD oil, and she sent me an email to give me advice saying that you shouldn't give him CBD oil because it's going to get stored in his fat and it'll make him more lethargic and stuff like that. So she literally emailed me with advice. And we know all how I love that. And hi, Jody. And I'm going to tell a bunch of things because Krista's been... Can I talk? Krista, Krista is wonderful. So Krista has been so cool. I know. So Krista, she emailed me advice. I wanted to tell her to go somewhere, but I listened to her advice and we talked a lot. And she actually saved Morty's life because she came for a tour and then she just didn't leave my life. After the tour, she just didn't leave my life. And so she saved Morty's life. Wait, was Jane before Morty? So she was visiting. We'll tell the Jane one. I don't remember what it is. So she was visiting and for a couple of days, and then she was here and she was saying she wanted to go. She loves King Carl. She wanted to go say goodbye to King Carl. And this is years ago because it was right after the fire because the big guys, hi, Rebecca. The big guys were living, Jane was before Morty. So the big guys were living in the hallway. So, which is crazy that Carl lived in the Potbelly hallway. Carl lived in the Potbelly hallway. So she's laying on Carl saying goodbye with her dog Dewey. And I'm sitting in the stall with her and we're just talking. And then Jane walks in with a big gash on her belly. And I'm like, I got to go to Cornell. And Chris is like, I'm like, no, I have to go to Cornell. And Chris is like, what? So she had a big gash. It perforated her bowel. She probably walked over Rue and Rue raised her head and she got cut with the tusk. And we called, isn't that crazy, Dave? It's the bigs in the hallway. So she's like, call the local vet. They got there really quickly. And then Krista kept me calm as usual, talked me off the ledge and stayed. She's like, I can't go home now. And that was my first daughter. So, and Krista, this was such a cool thing. Now, Krista is an amazing doctor for what? 30 years, Krista? You've been a doctor forever. So, she explained to the vet who she was, that I'm a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And the doctor's like, do you want to scrub in and help? So Krista helped with the surgery. Krista helped with the frickin' surgery. So she scrubbed in. I have pictures of her doing surgery, and it's so cool. So then Morty gets crazy sick, goes to Cornell, has colitis. They never had a pig survive colitis. He's there for a few weeks. I am in an absolute daze waiting for their phone call every day. they were basically getting ready to call me to say, you got to make a decision. It doesn't look good. And then Krista, because Krista was the interventionist. So when the medical words started getting too big, she would call them and dumb it down for me. So I said to Cornell, would you work with my friend who's a doctor? And they said, yes, of course, Marta. And Krista said, well, with colitis, I was crying every night. Morty broke the world. Everybody was crying over Morty. It was horrible. So Krista was like, well, in humans, we would try this. And Marta's like, okay. And then, bam, he turned around. And I gave up soda, but he turned around. So it was awesome because they were literally minutes from calling me up and saying, and Krista, right? Were calling me up to say it's time to say goodbye. He was so sick. He was so sick. And then Krista just waved her magic medical wand and it was awesome. And she was sending breakfast to the doctors because I couldn't function. I was literally face down in my room for a month. Remember, I didn't take off a sweatshirt. He was septic and close to death. And she's sending lunch and breakfast. She's making sure the team is taken care of at Cornell. She's like, oh, I'm going to send them lunch. I'm going to send them breakfast. And it was like, and she fixed them. And it was so cool. Oh, really? No, and that was cool. And then now we'll get back to humans again. So I had to go to, what was the doctor I see? The stomach doctor, whatever you call it. So I have an issue with my stomach, whatever. So Krista's like, and wait, Krista got Todd teeth at it's the wrong one. It's not Helen Keller. It's, what's the name of the dentist school? Krista got Todd teeth. So I'm jumping around. So Todd needed teeth. They were a fortune. She got in touch with a dental school. She would drive here, stay at a hotel, and drive Todd to this dentist like every 5 minutes. So she got him teeth. What school was it? Krista drove multiple times from Ohio to take Todd a few hours away here to get teeth, to get him fitted for teeth, like crazy. And Helen Hayes? Oh, Helen Hayes. It was Helen Hayes, right? So it just keeps getting better. So then she got him teeth. I'm sure other stuff too. So the only reason Todd has teeth is because of Krista. Then I went to the gastroenterologist and he didn't even look at me. He would not even look at me. And Krista's next to me. This guy did not look up. He refused to look up. He was just writing stuff down, what was going on. So I had Barrett's esophagus and I had to get an endoscope. And then literally, as this guy's looking down at the paperwork, just not listening. Krista's like, oh yeah, there's a lot. Look at her. Now she's patting herself on her back. Just kidding. So literally she's like, the gastroenterologist, I'm a mess, Mike. And she's like, hi, I'm Dr. Dobby. How you doing? And then he looked up and then she's like, I think he needs to have this. And he's like, you're right. And he's like, think he needs to be tested every 6 months. Yep, you're right. So literally, it was awesome. She just pulled out the doctor card, and I think it said "F look me in the freaking eyes," and oh yeah, she got my dad the right doctors in Florida. Um, she took over that care like crazy. I can't even believe this. This is like crazy. So she literally, the guy would not look at me. The doctor would not look at me, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Dr. Dobby. How you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, how you doing?" And she's like, "I think he needs this." He's like, "You're right. Well, he should do this every 6 months." "Oh, I think you're right." And then Joaquin and Hans got into the rhododendrons, and she knew the symptoms, and we figured that out. I do have my own language. So, she got my dad on the right medications. Um, I'm sure there's more. Um, she out there, some people that were incredibly ungrateful too. Um, Hans and Joaquin are very scary. The only ones that weren't scared were Hans and Joaquin. They had a sleepover at Cornell. So she helped Brett navigate the system for her husband. I mean, everybody. She's been, hey, Eric, everybody. She's been MVP, man. It's awesome. She's not taking any patients, no. And you probably don't want to be her patient. Right now, you don't want to be her patient. Can I say what kind of doctor you are, Krista? Krista, can I say what kind of doctor you are? And she's good at that too. No, they went on like a $2,000 sleepover. They had the best time. She's not a gynecologist. She's a palliative care doctor. Nope, she's not a proctologist. She's a palliative care doctor. And she's a damn good one because she tells me stories. She's incredible. She's incredible. And the most annoying thing is everybody loves her. Like, you meet her, you love her. That's what she is. And she doesn't even understand that we're not all like that. So many people hate me. People hate everybody. They don't hate her. Well, one person does, but they're a dick. But literally, everybody loves her, and she just thinks that's how life is. She literally just thinks, oh, everybody just loves everybody. No, they love her. It's like super annoying. She gets gifts. She has 3 pigs that live in her house. She's probably the only doctor in the world that have 3 pigs that live in her house. And a turtle named Marion. What's she, 40 pounds now? She has a 40-pound turtle named Marion. 2 dogs and 2 big-ass birds. 2 birds or 3 birds? So she just thinks that's how the world works. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. Even though you're killing them, everybody loves you. No, she just thinks that's how the world works. Nope. Marion, yep. She has a big-ass turtle, too. 3 pigs, a turtle, I think 2 birds, and 2 dogs. Right, Mike? She sounds horrible. 55-pound tortoise and two birds, 2 parrots. 55-pound turtle. She got a 55-pound turtle. No, it's crazy. She thinks that's the way she thinks the world. Everybody loves you. No. I pissed so many people off. No, it's crazy. Everybody loves Krista. Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Krista. Literally, no one doesn't love her. She makes time for everybody, and she's incredible, and it's awesome. You know, oh, Mike, she got her last dog from halfway home. She got her last dog, Hudson. Oh, you're sweet, Mike. She got her last dog from halfway home, so she knows everybody. I'm telling you, she knows everybody. Everybody loves her. It's crazy. It's so cool. It's so cool. She's absolutely wonderful. She's so I. It's just the fact that I responded to her when she was giving me advice. I was more open to advice at that time. I know, Mega Millions. So she got two dogs from I forgot. She got one real messed up dog that just had surgery, and then eventually passed. And then Franny posted a dog that looked just like her other dog, and I sent it to her, and she basically took another dog. And Hudson's like the most perfect dog. Yeah, her dog Mega Millions, because that's how much it cost to heal this dog that passed, but had a good life with her. His name's Dewey Lewis. So her dog is Dewey Lewis and Hudson. And I saw Hudson posted, and I sent it to her. I'm like, what do you think of this dog? And she's like, oh, man. So it was pretty cool. So she's a pretty amazing person. This was supposed to be about me. This was supposed to be about me. Yes, her dog's name is Dewey Lewis. He was from up here. He was where was he living? I forgot the name of the place. I know. Look, she told me. Look, got everything. Like it was like I'm okay now. I mean, we should just talk to Krista. No, I mean Krista. What do you want to know about Krista? It's about Krista, Krista, Krista. Don't worry, I'm having a situation tomorrow. It's okay. How you doing, Krista? How you doing? You doing okay? So Krista's wonderful. So back to the story, which it's like a complete 180 because it's not as fun as Krista, 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 Krista. I kind of wanted to talk about how things get put into place when this when something like this happens. So Todd, stop being a baby. Tell us more about Krista. Um, oh, really? Your brother had a cardiac cath today? So if I have the stint, I have to stay overnight. If they don't do the stint because of other reasons, which they freak me out with, um, so and this is where I wanted to make sure everybody knows that like we we had to have an emergency meeting of the board with a secession plan. If anything happens to me, God forbid happens to me, we we have everything in place that we will not skip a beat. And so yes, the moment that we know it's happening, but it's very cool. Um, it's very cool because, like I said, I felt proud, and I think learning a lot from our team and Odd Man In. Um, you know, it had to be a scary meeting. It's weird to talk about. Anything can happen. I'm very lucky. I haven't had a heart attack to this point. There Like when I showed you when the 34 bales of hay that I brought upstairs, I got really sick. So every time I do physical labor lately, I get really, really sick, like sweaty, lightheaded, physically sick. So, so no Instacart, nothing. No, don't send me letters. Don't send me anything. No food, no anything. So every time, like I was shoveling snow, physically sick, terrible, felt horrible. So we're just so lucky that love you too, that I didn't have a heart attack. But now, like literally, I have a 70% blockage. So the sanctuary would not skip a beat. We would have it. I'm sure they don't want to be named because they don't like to talk about themselves. Krista would actually be on the advisory board. We have an interim executive director. Lots and lots of amazing people, and I hate to start naming them because I'll forget a lot of their names, but so many amazing people. I like that, and they're all on here that offered to help. Lots of sanctuary founders, which is cool. That were, Mike wanted me to come sleep between him and Mary so he could take care of me and keep a real close eye on me. Brian wants to come here and take care of me. Craig, Angela, Jody, like the list, Becky, Ellen, Allie, and like I can go on forever, that people that I've been talking to try to talk me off the ledge, because it's been an emotional freaking nightmare, because I had to make sure my will was correct. My life insurance was in a different, wasn't correct. So I had to get my life insurance up to date. It's scary, it's scary because you think about your own mortality, I think the word. And here's the thing, like I've been struggling so bad with being sick, not having the energy, and feeling like I was just not doing my job good. I didn't think I was doing my job well, and I was really disappointed in myself, but I was so exhausted and not feeling up to it. And and I'm happy that like we did not take any animals in the past few months, because it got really, really, really bad in the past few months. Yes, Dave. Thank you, Dave. I got really, really sick, and Christina had to put up with me being very sick. Hi, Derek. So I've been really, really sick and frustrated, because I felt like I was failing the animals. I was failing, the village. I was failing everybody. And because the doctors couldn't find anything till Thursday, I just felt like I was being a whiny baby, that I was just, this is how I was going to feel, and that's it. And, turns out it's a miracle I didn't have a heart attack. My body's only getting 30% of what it needs. I have a 70% blockage. And so, and working on our infrastructure to make sure that if this happens, God forbid, and Wendy, Wendy and I talk about this probably more than we should talk about this, and Josh as well, is that just this came true. Like We are one car accident or one diagnosis away from not being here tomorrow. And that's where it came to, where I was doing, thank you, Susie. Susie's the president board, and she's been wonderful. And so, I was just, I would shovel snow and be like, why do I feel like this? Why am I so sick every time I do? Like, it was pouring the other night and I had to go shovel snow so that it didn't run right into the barn because the water was, and it was like 10 o'clock at night and I am sucking absolute wind, nauseous, felt absolutely horrible, like felt my heart beating, like my chest beating. And I'm like, this is just 54 years old. This is just, whoa. This is just 54 years old. And I was, so having an amazing meeting, the board all came together, talked about everybody would jump in if need be. Jill, Paul, Grace, Kathy, Brett has been like a constant sounding board for me. And so knowing that, God forbid, I don't wake up or I did have a heart attack, that Arthur's Acres would not skip a beat. Arthur's Acres is not Todd Friedman. Arthur's Acres is Arthur's Acres. I have founded it. I'm the executive director, but Arthur's Acres, if need be, will go on past me. And that's what I need to happen. So things should not come to a screeching halt if I'm not here. And so that's the important thing, is you realize, no, Krista kept pushing the doctors. Krista did. Oh, thank you, Craig. And that's the biggest thing in the world, is to realize this is not about, and founders get caught up in this, is not about me. This is not about me. This is about what we're doing for the animals. And to make sure that if one of us isn't here, that the animals don't skip a beat. Oh, you're so sweet, Life with Pigs. It's genetics. And that's the biggest thing, is having a succession plan, making sure you have good people behind you. Christina is amazing. Christina's ready to power through and whatever she needs. And it's a hard topic to discuss, but it has to be discussed. You probably think the song is about you, don't you? You're so vain. And even more and more, I never thought this was about me. People do get caught up in this. And, I think that's the hard part, is making sure that the foundation that you laid will go on if need be. Now, the dream is not to be needed. The sanctuary doesn't be needed. People go vegan. Animals are free from abuse, and we're not needed in our lifetime. That's the dream. But don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, so sanctuaries are going to be needed. So, again, I think Holly just said, tomorrow's not guaranteed. We have to make sure that the animals, no matter what, want to get fed at 7:45 tomorrow morning, whether I'm here or not, whether I'm doing a live or not, whether I post or not. These animals need to be cared for. Ella Bean is in the hospital. Dobby, the chicken that Dobby is named after, is in the hospital getting a CAT scan. Um, so, um, so I think this is important, and I'm going to use this week as 8 o'clock as education, and showing people what happened. So, Princess has to eat, or she's not very happy. Um, and so that's what is going to get me through this, and sharing it with you guys as a learning experience for all of us, and getting through it. And mentally, I am an absolute wreck. My anxiety, like Krista is probably drinking right now. She's like, if he calls me one more freaking time. She likes scotch, people. Send her scotch, right? It's scotch, Krista. So I'm sure she's drinking right now because of me. But I'm hoping that I just, anything can go wrong at any time, and I pray I'm here tomorrow. I'm praying I'm here the next day, but I'm excited to feel better because I've been giving 100%, but my 100% has only been 30%. So I'm curious what I can do if I'm feeling better. And I felt guilty on not taking any more animals right now. Now we are working on infrastructure but maybe not the next day, Krista. Brian's been a huge help with infrastructure and our big plans. And so I am so excited but I literally was in my head, the lives in my head, but then the steam would run out halfway through the day, and I just was terrible. It was horrible, but I can't imagine feeling okay. I thought this is how you felt, and I feel like absolute garbage. So I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm more than scared. I'm more than scared. I don't know what the worst thing you can call it is, but I'm that. I am as scared as you can get. And I know if I don't wake up, I'm not going to feel it. So I don't know. I'm really scared. No, I didn't feel right. I don't feel right. I can't. I was so. I was half-assing it. I couldn't bring it all. I couldn't. I can't. I couldn't. Dreaming about my father, my grandmother, Vivian. I haven't slept in days, and Krista said it's going to help me sleep. I'm scared. I mean, I am excited, but I also go to the thought, like, when they get in there, what are they going to find? I go in at 8 o'clock. If they give me this stint, I'll have to stay overnight. I'll most likely annoy my roommate and go live from my room tomorrow night. If I have to stay there, I'll be live tomorrow night, most likely. And so I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm going to fail these animals. I took responsibility for these animals, and I'm scared that I'm going to let them down. I was hoping they found Jimmy Hoffa on my property. We'd be so rich. It's just scary, and it's scary because it just how quickly it happened. And like last night was a freaking nightmare. I fell asleep. I fell asleep for 5 minutes, and then had nightmares and dreams about my father and my grandmother and Vivian. And I'm not gonna be able to rest. You just got praised, Brian. You missed it, so kiss me. Kiss. You know where to kiss. I didn't mean kiss me. And that's the thing. It's like I feel like I failed the animals already because I was so sick. Like I was so sick. It's so weird how sick I was. I am. I just, I'm going to go work with Chance today. And then I'm like, I didn't mean so kiss me. I didn't mean that. And then I just didn't feel up to it. I couldn't bring my body to, and I'd feed every day. I didn't miss feeding. I did what I had to do every day, but I didn't do the in-between stuff. I did hooves if they had to be done. Drove back to Cornell how many hundreds of times and was like chugging caffeine because I couldn't stay awake. I could not stay awake. Brad, you're in trouble. So, I mean, everything hurt for 4 years. And then for 2 years, I felt like I was walking in sludge. I felt like I was walking in sludge. I just hope I could be a better me at the end of this. I hope I come out of it and I'd be a better me and see. I'm lucky to have not have a heart attack. That is very lucky. So, I feel like the first day of the rest of my life is tomorrow. And so I go in tomorrow, 8:00. And hopefully they're able to repair it. And thank you everybody for understanding. And I felt like, so I'm going to do a post. I'm going to do a live. But I felt like there's a community on this live that deserve to be the first to hear, because you guys have kind of heard the stories of doctor's appointments after doctor's appointments. You heard me sucking wind. I mean, so many people wrote me, be like, are you okay? You were breathing funny. You were breathing funny. And so I got that a lot. You're not allowed to do lives from the hospital? Why not? You're coming up. Brian's doing lives? I was thinking we do the whole procedure live. Can we not do that? Will that throw the radiation machine off? It's not a bad idea. I'll bring the Todd Pod. You think that's a no-no, Jody? Do they have to clean the Todd Pod in a certain way to bring it into the surgical suite? Brian would do good lives. What are you looking at? Oh, this is her night. She likes to be. This is her spot at night. Um, the next tattoo is Wolfie on my hand, or put the top, or I want to get Princess or Wolfie or the next tattoo. My lives are exhausting. So, does anybody have any questions? I'm exhausted. So, right now, we're tentatively going live on Thursday with the porcupine. Can Wolfie see a little bit? Brian, come up and do lives. TD's confused. Tattoo of Krista. My mom's getting it for 2 weeks. She's gonna run out of here. Yes, the doctor will be using Milwaukee tools, Brian. I'll make sure the doctor has Milwaukee tools, Brian. Chris, I can get a picture of you when you came on the tour with your new haircut. That's the picture I'll put, Krista. When we took a picture with your new haircut. Wednesday, I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, hopefully I can go live Wednesday if yeah, I'm not, I'm nervous. That haircut, remember that? I don't forget that haircut. You do. Oh, it was a good haircut. She was going golfing after. You know that charge? Oh, the van's not here. I think the charger's in the van. I should bring that 200-foot charger. Shoot, that's a good idea. That sucks that I don't have that. I don't think this is considered surgery. I think it's a procedure. I'm sure I'll be able to post an update that I'm alive after. It's a cath lab. It's a procedure. Everybody's saying it's a procedure. It's a procedure. If I get a stint, my pajama. I got my favorite pajamas. I got the new Arthur's Acres sweatshirt. I'll be wearing the new Arthur's Acres sweatshirt. I'll be selling them in the parking lot of Orange County Health Center. So I'm going to sell these in the parking lot to make some money for Arthur's Acres. I definitely want to bring it. Yeah, so we're bringing the Subaru. We're setting up shop in the parking lot. So if you need Arthur's Acres gear, we always got to be selling, people. Ella Bean's at Cornell. Dobby's at Cornell. Rosie's getting spayed on the 18th or 19th. You got to do what you got to do. I think we're looking for sponsors for the procedure. So if you'd like to sponsor the procedure, call Anissa or Brett. I like it. So if you'd like to sponsor the procedure, reach out to Brett or Anissa. They'll be handling that. So, and again, we're joking because I want to make this super clear. This is not turning into a fundraiser. We are not turning this into a fundraiser. There's places out there that turn personal tragedies into fundraisers. That's not us. This is not a fundraiser at all. So that was a joke. We do not do that. That's emotional blackmail at its finest. And that's not us. That's not what we do. No rant. I'm behaving because I need karma on my side, man. No, we do not turn this into that's emotional blackmail. But I do want you to share everything because I'm going to be exhausted. We can laugh and have fun, but it's just absolutely no rant today. If I get some of that fun stuff, maybe there'll be a fun live tomorrow night. Jody said not in the hospital, so I may have to put the wheelchair in the parking lot and do a rant from the parking lot. So again, we're going to make this into a... it's every 6 months, Brian. You didn't hit it right. I don't know. Well, I'm hoping for a dab of propofol. I'm hoping for a little shot of propofol. Just a little dab, a little snippet of propofol. I will be requesting it. I will call ahead to make reservations to make sure that there's some propofol waiting. It depends. You're right, Chris. I'm going to have the bag with me. So I will definitely be updating everybody as soon as I know everything. And, I was nervous about this live, but this was very fun and a positive way of looking at everything. And thank you. Yeah, I'm going to apologize to the doctor and the nursing staff ahead of time. I'm going to be a huge pain in the ass. There's no doubt that's going to happen. So I'm sorry because I will tell them to follow us. Oh, I love you too, Kiki. They will all be followers after. So if you go back and watch this live, I'm sorry I'm such a pain in the ass tomorrow. That's just who I am. So sorry, doctors and nurses and... So, yes, I hope they're on here. They're going to shoot me with a dart gun from a park across the parking lot. I will get some rest. Thank you so much. Wish me luck. I don't know what to say. I hope it's going to go okay and I'm going to feel good. And if I feel good, you guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble. Like literally, if I am really at 30% and I can go 100%, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride because it's gonna be funky. It's gonna be funky. I don't know what will summer bring. We're gonna have a good time. There's gonna be a lot of animals saved, and it's gonna be really fun. I might even eat olives. I probably shouldn't do that, though. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much. Someone, if not myself, will update you. Hopefully it's me. unless I am so high, which I hope to be, I can't talk and someone has to. I just pray I'm just so stoned that I can't function. That's just a dream. Um, but if I can function, it'll be. If I can't, it'll be someone else. So have a wonderful night, everybody. Thank you for your love and support and your continuous love and support. You're all absolutely wonderful. This only happens because of you. Oh, Krista, I love, St. Krista, they're working on the St. Krista posters and swag now, and people are getting Krista tattoos. Who do we like better, Taylor Swift or Krista? Krista's the Taylor Swift of the medical world. Wide awake and whining. That's terrible. Love you, Mike. Love you, Brad. Love every. Thank you, everybody. Peace, love, and pigs.